Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. My name is Carla Fitz. I am a certified life coach, wife, and mom of two beautiful little girls. My hope for this podcast is to offer support and empower other Catholic women to live their most authentic life, to share life coaching tools from a Catholic perspective in order to help you live a more fulfilling life filled with peace, joy, and abundance. Let's get started. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Welcome to this episode of the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. I am so excited to be here. Today I'm talking about a topic that I deeply love, and it is joy. I wanted to share 10 hacks to feel more joyful in your day-to-day life. And before I go into this, I kind of want to share with you guys that this is not something that it's like so easy for me. I'm like the most joyful, consistently person ever, and I've always been this way. No, this has been a process that I have learned by making mistakes, by falling, by getting up, by failing and trying again. And this is how we learn anything in life, I think. I don't think there's anything in our life that we're just so good at that we just don't need to get better at. I don't know if that makes sense. But I just think that the things that we really get good at are things that we were at one point really bad at. And I think for me, I do have to admit that when I started my life in Venezuela, my people, Venezuelans, are super joyful for the most part. We are always trying to find the good things in life. And so in a way, yes, that was a very natural state of being for me. But I did get to a point in which I kind of forgot. I started focusing more on the negative side. I started focusing more on the things I didn't have versus the things that I did have. I recently made a Instagram post or a story because I had this dream that I met Jonathan Rumi. And for those of you who do not know who Jonathan Rumi is, he is Jesus in The Chosen. And he's amazing, and I pray someday I get to meet him, but I also pray that I don't get to meet him in the way I did in my dreams. And here's why. In my dream, I am sitting on this round table with Jonathan Rumi, and I'm pretty sure my sister was there, which makes total sense, by the way. If this was in real life, she would totally be the person I would go with. Anyhow, we are sitting on this round table, and Jonathan is like, "Oh, hello, my name is Jonathan Rumi." And I'm like, "Oh, hello, I'm Carla Fitz. It's very nice to meet you." And we start talking. And what did I start doing? My nightmare. This was not a dream. This was my nightmare. I started complaining to him as if I was in confessions with Jonathan Rumi. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this thing is not working. This thing is not going the way I thought it would go. And I'm not working on this very well. And this is so scary." And Jonathan is looking at me like, "What is wrong with you, woman? What's your problem? Do you not realize that I'm just an actor? That you can't do this confession thing with me right here?" Which he would totally understand because he's also Catholic. So I think he could deal with it. But my goodness, you guys, that dream or that nightmare is something that I don't ever want to happen because I very on purpose try really hard to be grateful. I try really hard to focus on what's good in my life. And it helps because when we are focused on the lack, we see more of it. When we are focused on the things that are not working, we see more of the things that are not working. Whereas when we are focused on the blessings, when we focus on the things that are working, the things that we do have, the moments that we get to live in this lifetime, versus focusing on the moments that we don't get to live yet, or the things that we don't have yet, we start seeing more of the blessings. The more you focus on your blessings, the more you see it. You see evidence of it. This is kind of like the example of the red car. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but the question for you would be, so far in this day, have you seen a lot of red cars or any red cars? And if the answer is no, it's like, okay, no big deal. Or maybe you have, you've just not been focusing on them. And what I want to encourage you is that then after this podcast, you look for the red cars. And you'll start noticing that you'll see a bunch of them all of a sudden. That is the exact same thing that happens to our brain when we focus on the negative, as well as the same thing that happens to our brain when we focus on the positive. When we are focused on the negative, we see them everywhere. Our brain is like, "Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, that's not going great." Whereas when we focus on the things that are going amazing and the things that are a blessing, the things that are good in our life, our brain finds more and more evidence of it. When it comes to joy, when it comes to being joyful, I heard Father Mike, and I shared this in another podcast, that the feeling of joy comes out of love. The feeling of joy is something that we create within us by having God with us. God is love. God is abundance. So here are the 10 hacks that I want to share with you guys to feel more joyful in your day-to-day life. Now, keep in mind that this is not going to be the only 10 hacks ever. It's just the 10 hacks that I can really connect with, okay? The first one is prioritizing your time with God. Make it non-negotiable. Make it so that you show up every single day. Even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, make it non-negotiable. Start your day with that time in silence with Him. End your day in that time in silence with Him. It doesn't have to be complicated, but prioritize that time with God. There's nothing that can come in between us. This is priority. This is non-negotiable for me. I think it's important for us to make it non-negotiable as if we are in a relationship with God, because we are in a relationship with God. When you are in a relationship and you want to grow in a relationship with that person, you want to spend time with that person. If you ignore that relationship, it doesn't work. You have to spend time there. You have to prioritize that time. Number 2 is simplifying your schedule. Keep your schedule more open than your brain wants to keep it. Our brain wants to be busy. Our brain is like, let's just keep busy and do all of the things all in one day. But the more busy we make ourselves, the more we fill our schedule, the more stressed we become, the more unhappy we become. We become more worried. We become more cranky. And we're just overwhelmed. So I would encourage you to simplify your schedule. Simplify the things that you choose to put in your schedule. Choose your priorities very consciously. Choose them on purpose. Love each of the things that you're putting in your schedule. And with that, I also want to encourage you guys to leave blank times with nothing in your schedule. Leave plenty of time so that you can be flexible for God. I like to call these blank times extra time for divine tasks, which means that if in the day God is asking you to do something that was not in your schedule, you have plenty of flexible time to fit those tasks in your schedule. To take the time to slow down enough and say, okay, I have to do this divine task right now, but later on today, I have plenty of time to continue doing what I was scheduled to do. Or you're just simply leaving it open to rest and spend time in silence with Him. Okay? Now, number 3. Number 3 is simplifying your home. I am a fan of having less stuff in our house. Less cleaning equals less stress. I am one that the more stuff I have in the house and the more I have to clean, the more frustrated I feel. I do not like the idea that I can open a drawer and I have no idea what's in that drawer. This is something that I do constantly, especially with kids. My girls have 3 drawers in which they just put things in. And so I have to go through those drawers every once in a while. But my husband and I recently had a moment where we were doing dishes all of the time. And saving extra time to do dishes is not one of my priorities. Doing laundry is not one of my priorities. That is my next goal, is to minimize our clothes, especially the kids' clothes. But a few weeks ago, my husband and I were talking and we're like, we have got to do less dishes. And so my solution was to put away plates, because we have a set of 8 plates that we normally use when we are having Christmas dinner or we are having Easter dinner, which is coming up, and that kind of deal. Those are the only times that we normally would use those plates, but we use those plates in a regular basis because the rest of our plates are in the sink. We have too many options. And so we're like, what if we just simplify our plates. And so I put away those plates that we normally use in special occasions and put them on top of our fridge, and just kept 4 big plates, 4 bowls, and 4 small plates. And I'm not saying that you need to do exactly that. That's just something that feels really good now because we have been minimizing for years. And for us, what we notice is that now we hardly spend any time doing dishes. So we have extra time with our children, and we are no longer stressing because there's dishes in the sink. Because we either do dishes that night, very little dishes that we have plenty of space in our dishwasher, or we don't have plates the next day. So the choices are more simple. And we find so much joy in not having to worry about it, not having to do dishes all the time, and also not having to spend time on it at all. We just load during the day, we run it through the night, and we unload in the morning. And it has become such a easy thing. It's no longer a source of stress for our family. Now, number 4 is practice being present in your today. So often we find ourselves worried about tomorrow and regretting yesterday. And those 2 options would be gone if you were able to be present today, to enjoy this moment with our children, not to regret the time that I wasn't present yesterday or worried if I'm going to be present tomorrow. Just simply be there today. And that also is so applicable for your current circumstances. So often we worry about the next thing without even knowing if tomorrow it's going to come. You will find so much joy in being there, in thinking only of that particular moment and not so much about the next thing. Number 5 goes with this one, is worry less and trust more. This is easier said than done. I am aware. But it is so freeing when you practice the no worry rule. A few months ago, I started practicing this thing where I scheduled my worry time, where I had 15 to 20 minutes a day where I was like, okay, that's when I'm going to worry about it. And what I noticed is that the more I postponed worry, the more I didn't need to worry. I would just practice saying, okay, I know that you're concerned about this, but this is not the time to worry. You can worry about that later. And the more I postponed it, I found that I was worrying less, and then I didn't feel the need to worry about it. When you dwell in worry, it takes away our joy. And the thing is, we only worry about things that are not yet happening. Like, you're not worried about sitting in this desk right now behind the mic. I'm worried about the things that are going to happen later. And worrying about things that happen later is not useful. Our brain thinks it's useful, but it takes away our present joy. With that, I also want to encourage you guys as a tactic, as a practice, to do the surrender novena. This is one of those novenas that I love to do every 9 days. At day 9, I'm like, I gotta do it again because there's a new thing to worry about. And practicing giving it back to God and trusting God, it's huge. And all it takes most of the time is interrupting the thoughts that cause you to worry. If you find yourself worrying, just simply practice interrupting the thought that causes you to worry. Whether it's, it's not going to work, you just interrupt the thought and say, okay, brain, I hear you. I hear your concern, but we are not going to spend time on that right now. The solution will come. God will provide. He's got it. Let's focus on what we have in front of us right now. Number 6 is exactly that. Surrender to God. Practice giving it all to Him. Practice giving your joy and your excitement to Him. Practice surrendering your will so that your will become His. I love the line, my dreams, His will. He has given me those dreams. He's got it. Number 7 is spend more time doing what you love. There's nothing that can bring more joy than being with Jesus and doing something that you absolutely love. Part of why this society has gotten so much joy taken away from us is that we don't do things that we love. We do the things that we're expected to do. And it can be little things. Like one of the things that brings me joy is walking. And one of the reasons why I tend to not be very joyful is because I prevent myself from going on a walk. It's like the things that we fight more. If you guys have never heard of the book from Matthew Kelly, Resisting Happiness, this is exactly that. The things that we resist more of doing and we procrastinate more from doing are the things that bring us the most joy, or some of the things that bring us the most joy. Number 8 is practice gratitude daily. As I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, the thing that takes away our joy is focusing and choosing to focus on the lack, on the things that we do not have, on the things that are not working. And so spending time every single day in gratitude helps us to get into that mindset of joy, of happiness, of just being thankful for the things that we do have, for the people that are around us. So spend every single day a few minutes writing in your journal something that you are grateful for. I like to do just 5 things that I'm grateful for that day, and just reconnecting our brain with positive things, especially at the beginning of the day where you're just waking up. Starting your day with prayer, gratitude, a walk, it's such a life-changing thing. Number 9 is disconnect often. This to me means no social media. Have time in which you spend time in silence, in prayer, with your family, painting, reading, however it might look for you. Prioritize time in which you are disconnected from social media, internet, anything. Just have some quiet time enjoying the people around you and your time with God and by yourself. And number 10 is to do something good for someone else. This is key. God tells us to love our neighbors, and there is nothing that brings more joy than doing something for someone else, to help someone else, to give another person a call, to just support someone else, to send a message and just encourage that person, to pray for someone else, to give flowers to someone else, however that might look. If you spend some time thinking and acting and doing things for others, it takes the focus away from you. And you start to focus on the need and the joy of someone else. And automatically, that brings more joy into your life. As I mentioned at the beginning, these are not the only 10 hacks to bring joy into your life. But I think if you put these 10 into practice, you will start to see day by day that you feel more uplifted. You feel more joyful. Your brain starts to focus on positive things rather than on negative things. You start to practice gratitude, and all of a sudden you are much more happy in the current circumstances that you are in. You start to recognize that, perhaps the circumstances you are in are not your ideal circumstances, but it's still 50-50, and you can absolutely enjoy this 50-50. This is one of the main reasons why I love doing what I do. The reason why I absolutely love helping other women find joy in their day-to-day life, helping them enjoy where they're at today, embracing the circumstances that they are in today. And then I also love encouraging them and helping them walk through life as they reach their goals. It's not all about reaching our goals, but it is about finding joy today. It is about finding joy and abundance and peace and alignment in our current life. It makes the process so much more, for lack of a better word, enjoyable. It makes the process easier. And when you are reaching for those goals, things come a lot faster, with a lot more ease and a lot more enjoyment when you are truly enjoying the process. Before we go, I also want to remind you that we only have one more week to sign up for the 40 day of support. Remember that this is an awesome opportunity for you to spend some time with a one-on-one coach, helping you reach your goals with more ease and find joy in your day-to-day life. It's going to be so fun, and I hope you guys take advantage of this pricing because it will never happen again. So make sure that if you are interested in joining for the 40-day of support, all you need to do is click the link in the description and set a time to chat with me. I want you guys to have an opportunity to see if this is a good fit for you. The 40 days are only $400, and you will never regret investing in your peace of mind. I cannot wait to see what you will do. And I love thinking of the 40 days as the 40 days of transformation, because it truly is an investment that you will make for yourself in order to transform your life, to start seeing your life in a positive light, to enjoy it even more, to find more peace and alignment, and to go after those dreams that are waiting for you. I'm so excited for you, and I cannot wait to see you in there. But for right now, I hope that these 10 hacks are super helpful for you. I hope you put them in practice, and I would love to hear from all of you. Send me a DM on Instagram. I love hearing from all of you, and I hope that this is helpful. I am sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, and a big giant hug. All right? Have an amazing rest of your week. Until next time, God bless. Thank you so much for joining us in the Catholic Life Coach podcast. If you are ready to dive deeper into life coaching from a Catholic perspective, I want to invite you to schedule a free consultation for you to experience the power of one-on-one coaching. I will help you find more joy and align your goals with your faith, as well as embracing the abundant life that God desires for each one of us. If you are interested, the link is in the description. Until next time, God bless.